All right, here's a rundown of basic operation and what all the buttons and stuff do. First of all, this button right here, glued in place, doesn't do anything at all. Same with this button right here. These are just, I just glued them in place. The cassette counter doesn't work. The gears are cooked in there and there's no numbers on it anyway. So that button works, but it doesn't do anything. The tuning knob also just rotates. You can turn it, but the indicator doesn't move. These things vibrate like crazy, so I just glue them in place. So doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work, doesn't work. Anyway, beyond that, here's your main power switch. Click this on, you get a power on light, and the FM stereo light comes on also. In addition to the voltage display in the back comes on. So once it's on, this turns the amplifier on. We won't do that yet. This switch over here, the band selector, this is the lights. So it's just one click. You got to be a little careful with it. Be gentle with this. It's just a plastic switch in there, and don't click it all the way. It only goes one click. Just one click. Turns on the neons here, and then the LEDs in here. And there, I'll give you the instructions for the app to control those. And they just remember whatever they were doing last when you turn them on. So that's it for the lights on and off. Just be kind of, if you crank the switch, you're going to break it off. It's a little delicate. So once the unit is turned on, then you can turn on Bluetooth amplifier, or the amplifier. And let me get it to play something. Hang on. All right, now the Bluetooth is playing. Got volume, bass, treble, just like they're marked. This is no longer the balance. This is sub-volume. This is not the stereo control. This is the sub-frequency. So this changes the sub-frequency all the way down. This is a crossover. 80 hertz all the way down, so it plays just the very lowest notes. And I believe it's 200 all the way up. Around top dead center is a pretty good position there. That's probably around 120 hertz, something like that. If you turn it way up here, you're going to get more of the just adjust it the way you want. You understand how these things work. So obviously that's how the controls work when you're doing Bluetooth. When you want to turn off the Bluetooth and you just want to listen to, if you want to listen to the cassette or the line in, you have to disable the Bluetooth on your phone. So let me do that. I don't know if it's going to stop the video. Let me see. Oh, it's still playing. Okay. So now there's no Bluetooth coming in. And now when you push play on the cassette, you get cassette. And then you've got bass, treble, sub, volume, and sub frequency. All the same controls when you're listening to cassette. So when you want to listen to the line in, I've got a DVD player over there. So when I want to listen to line in, this little blue button right here switches to DVD or line in. So we've got Daft Punk playing in there. Back to cassette. So all this button does is switch between line in and cassette. The amplifier sees both of those as an auxiliary input. So you just, in is cassette, internal source, out is the line in, external source, if you can remember that. The other bit of this is your line level input. This is an adjustable potentiometer controlling this input and the cassette input to the amplifier. So these two signals come in at different levels than the Bluetooth does. So you just turn it up so it's playing a little bit. You can turn this up to a certain point. You're adjusting the input gain on the amplifier. So once you've done that, then you've got your bass, treble, and sub controls as normal. and you can turn it down and you switch over to cassette. Give it a little volume. No, that's the end of the song. That's why I put the line level knob on here. When you switch from one to the other, they come in kind of hot. They're a little bit level different. So I recommend when you switch inputs, to turn this down, turn your input gain down, then give it a little bit, turn it back up. They're actually not that far off when you're actually listening to it, but just on the scope, they were all over the place. So, and then you just go back to your phone and turn on the Bluetooth. All right, I just stopped the video to turn my Bluetooth back on. So that's it. You can turn the lights on and off whenever you want. You don't need them to be on. You don't need them to be off. Doesn't matter. Handle is nice and sturdy. This thing is heavy. It's probably 30 pounds. I haven't weighed it yet. The last one was 29. So you can use both hands. This thing's a tank, man. It's pretty heavy. The antenna's on here, nice and clean. I don't really know what else to tell you. If you got other questions, this was what I was using as the power input. That's where you plug in the wall jack when I was running that AC-DC converter. So this is disconnected. There's nothing there. You can plug it in, but there's nothing. It doesn't do anything. This is just for display at this point. Nothing on this side. You got your voltage display down here. I believe the battery management shuts it off at 20 volts. That's where it's about at when I see it quit. And then this is just a plug-in, and I'll give you a charger for it. Nothing else on the back. The battery cover is glued shut, so there's nothing in there to see anyway, just a plastic box. The grill is removable. It's just friction fit. I moved the tabs off of it and repainted it and everything. I filed it down so it's not sharp. But you do still want to be a little careful with it when you put it back on so you don't scratch the paint. It's a pretty tight fit, but there. Grill comes off. And then you can watch the speakers jump around. This thing really does sound good. Well, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sure if you think of anything, you'll have some questions. This just kind of slides on, and you just tuck the corners in and push it on there, and there you go. I recommend turning the amplifier off before you turn the main power off. Otherwise, you get a turn-off thump. When it's playing and you shut it off, you'll get a snap like that. If you wait and turn the amp off first. Well, it's not playing now, but anyway, turn the amp off, then turn the power off. That's it. I hope it works great for you. If you give us any trouble, obviously let me know, and I hope to send it out to you tomorrow morning.